Hey YouTube, this video is going to be a bit of an addendum to my 1 year time-lapse video. I just want to go over how I actually managed to put it together. So I have an IP camera set up in an upstairs window looking out at the stormwater pond across the street. I originally put it there because I was curious whether the water level would change visibly during a rainstorm or a snowstorm. So I set up a pair of bash scripts that were called by cron, which is a scheduling utility built into Linux. And together these two scripts manufactured a time-lapsed video of every day. And at the end of the year, I could just concatenate them together into a single whole year time-lapse. So the first script, which was to get the image, it generated a couple paths for me. The first one is the name of the directory in which all the files would be saved, and the name of that directory is just the year, month, and day. And then I had to generate the file name itself for that particular image, and that was the year, month, day, and then hour and minute, because I was producing one image every minute. Next, I checked whether the day directory actually existed. Originally I was going to just make this at midnight and then only do the job once, but if there was a power outage or some other kind of technological failure, then throughout the rest of the day there'd be no directory in which to save all the subsequent images. So I just made it so every time this script calls, it makes sure the directory is present. If it's not, it makes a directory. Finally, I used wget to make an HTTP request to the camera itself. I was lucky enough that this camera's API documentation was made public. And then I saved that image using the file name that we generated up at the top of the script. Pretty easy. Then every day at 11:59, just before the date changed over, we take a look to see, does that directory exist. If it doesn't, then it exits the script, and I end up with a little message that said the script couldn't find the directory, and hopefully I can go back and save it if there's anything there. Other than that, I just hand everything over to FFmpeg, which is a ridiculously powerful piece of video editing and manipulating software. Anything you could think to do with a regular GUI editor, you can do with FFmpeg, but you can script it so it can all be done unattended. The last line here is one I had to comment out because it sounded like a great idea until it worked. After the videos were finished being made by FFmpeg, I just automated the process of deleting all those JPEGs because they just took up space and I wouldn't need them anymore. Unfortunately, if the power went out in the middle of the day or there was a JPEG that was corrupted, FFmpeg would make a video up until the gap in the files or until it hit the broken JPEG, and then it would stop, and the script would then delete all of the JPEGs. It would delete that whole directory. So I wouldn't have any chance to go back and intervene and maybe save the file if there was anything there. So I had to comment that out. When it was all finished, I ended up with about 360 odd MP4s because I lost a couple days due to power outages and whatnot. So when I put them all together, I ended up with a 5.5 hour time lapse if it was watched at the 25 frames a second. So I actually had to speed it up a bit and blend some of the frames together to try and smooth out the motion a little bit. So I'm not going to upload that 5.5 hour version. I'm uploaded a time compressed version, which is just under 7 minutes. So I hope you found the time-lapse interesting, and I hope this video answered some of your questions. If you have any more questions or comments, let me know below. Thanks for watching.